The divorce lawyers of Reddit. What's the most insane, funny, and dumb way a spouse has tried to screw over the other? 1. The mommy's gonna be mean because of daddy, ultimatum. A client's wife wanted him out of the house. I told him not to leave. Just move to a different bedroom for now. Once you're out, getting back in is nearly impossible. He texted his wife, letting her know he was staying put. Her response? She left a voicemail saying, "If you don't leave soon, I'll start taking my unhappiness out on the kids, and I'll make sure they know mommy's being mean because daddy won't leave." Yup, parenting at its finest. 2. The Gorilla Glue Massacre. When I worked for the prosecuting attorney's office, I thought I had seen it all. Heated arguments over Tupperware, custody battles over pet iguanas, even one guy who claimed his ex hexed his car. But nothing prepared me for the sheer madness of the Gorilla Glue Massacre. A couple was going through a nasty divorce. The husband had already left the house, and the wife thought the worst was behind her. One morning, she went to work like any other day, probably thinking about how to start fresh after the split. But when she came home that evening, she walked straight into a scene that could only be described as gloriously unhinged. Her soon-to-be ex had stopped by while she was at work to collect his clothes and belongings. Fair enough, right? Except, he didn't stop there. He gorilla glued everything. And I mean everything. The TV remote? Glued to the coffee table. The phone? Glued to its cradle. Couch pillows? Glued to the couch cushions. Vacuum cleaner? Glued right to the carpet. But wait. There's more. She initially called the police thinking it was just a few pranks. But as the hours passed, she kept discovering new horrors. Every time she tried to move something, she realized it was stuck. Permanently. Her hairbrush? Glued to the bathroom counter. Her coffee mug? Glued to the kitchen table. The toilet seat lid? Glued down. Yes, even the toilet seat. She had to rip the entire thing off to use the bathroom that night. The police walked through the house with her, meticulously documenting each glued-down item. But the glue-fueled madness didn't end there. For the next few days, she kept finding more. Every time she opened a cabinet or closet, it was like a twisted Easter egg hunt of sabotage. "My goddamn oven mitts are glued to the wall!" she screamed over the phone, calling to update the police report. At one point, she opened her linen closet, only to find her bed sheets glued together in one giant, useless lump of fabric. Her entire makeup collection? Glued to the vanity. The blender? Glued to the kitchen counter. Even the magnets on the fridge were glued in place. The pièce de résistance? She opened the fridge and found that every single condiment bottle, ketchup, mustard, mayo, hot sauce, was glued to the shelves. She tried to pull out the milk carton, but it was stuck so firmly that the handle snapped off in her hand. Her favorite pair of heels? Glued to the floor of her closet. The doorbell button? Glued down so it continuously rang until she had to shut off the power. Oh, and the cherry on top? He even gorilla glued the TV screen itself so that if she ever tried to turn it on, she'd be staring at a frozen, glue-smeared nightmare. The best part? When the police finally caught up with the husband, his defense was simple. "I just wanted to leave my mark." Diabolical, petty, hilarious. Honestly, 10-10 for creativity, 0/10 for maturity.